One of the hardest questions when it comes to personal finance is how much money do I need to retire? How much money do I need in order to know and make sure that when I'm in retirement, I can just retire and I'm going to be good? It's a difficult question to answer, but in this video, I'm going to show you not just how much money you need in order to retire, but also how much money you need to be getting paid in order for you to be able to live the life that you want to be able to live and also be able to save up to reach the destination that you want to get to when we talk about retirement. Are you ready for this? Let's go. Whoosh. What's going on, people? It's your boy Kelechi back with another video. If this is your first time around these parts, hit that subscribe button. If you enjoy anything that we're talking about on this video, hit that like button. But anyway, like I said, we're going to be going through exactly how to figure out not just how much money you need in retirement, but also how much money you need to be getting paid in order to get to that goal and still enjoy life. But anyway, the idea for this video came from my favorite writer, Nick Majuli, who wrote an entire blog called Working Backwards. And I think it's just a great mental mindset that we all need to have. But anyway, let's get right into it. The way we're going to start this off is figuring out and using something called the 4% rule. Yes, we're going to use the basic 4% rule, which some people have a problem with. I don't really care. We need rules of thumb. One of the problems is we get bogged down. If you watched my last video where I talked about simplicity over complexity, we can get bogged down by trying to figure out exact things. No, we just need a general starting point. And then as we go further on, we'll figure out all the details later. But anyway, we will use the 4% rule. If you don't know what the 4% rule is, follow me to my computer real quick. The 4% rule is you can withdraw 4% of their retirement nest egg every year in retirement and never run out of money. Let's say I'm planning my retirement after calculating my Social Security benefits, my small pension, and the thousands of pennies generated by the best interest. I realize that I need an additional $2,500 per month to cover my living expenses. That $2,500 per month is $30,000 a year will come from my retirement savings. But how big does my portfolio need to be to fund $30,000 per year? And you can use the 4% rule. All it is basically what you do is you multiply 25 times your $30,000 that you need per year. And in this situation, he will need $750,000. Basically, the 4% rule is just a quick shortcut for you to be able to figure out how much total you need. But so we're going to use this as a basis of what we're about to work on, and we're going to plug it into here. Let's say, for example, in our example, we have an annual spend. Let's say every year you spend about $50,000 a year on all your savings, enjoyments, travel, everything that you do in a year, you spend about $50,000, which means that in retirement, you're going to need about $1.25 million when you multiply 25 by $50,000. So you need $1.25 million. Now, the problem is, how much do I need to be saving every single month? And we're going to make some assumptions here. Again, we need assumptions. We need a starting point. We're going to make some assumptions in order to figure out how much do I need to be saving every single month over a certain amount of time. So the thing is, to figure out the amount of time, that's going to depend on you. So for example, again, quick caveat that I need to backtrack on. The 4% rule was designed for retirees. In other words, if you're going to be 65 and leave for the next 30 years or something like that, that's what it was designed for. So if you're looking for FIRE, retire early, all that stuff, you're probably going to need to make a lot of adjustments to this number in order for it to work for you. You're probably going to need that number to probably be doubled up. But that's just a quick caveat for everybody to keep in mind. But for the 4% rule, if we need to figure out, okay, how much do I need to be paying or saving every single month in order to reach this destination, you can use something like a finance calculator or an interest calculator to be able to work that number backwards. I already put in a few of the numbers in here, actually all the numbers in here. What I did is I said, if the next 30 years, which means that 360 months later, this is the end period over here, it's 360 months. I used just a basic interest of 4%. In other words, I'm not even using the high interest that everybody be talking about getting 8 and 10%. If you look at Vanguard, a lot of the times, a lot of their studies, they just use 4% is what they use as the return that you get from the stock market because the thing be volatile all over the place. So if you just get 4%, is what I'm going by. And then I put in about $1.2 million is the end destination. It has to be negative if you're trying to do this on your own and figure out your own numbers. Also, I changed the settings down here to add it to be 12. And then I do the calculate and it gives me about $1,800 that I need to be saving every single month so that in retirement, I can be spending $50,000 every year and I will never run out of money is the idea. So now I know how much money I need to be saving every month. So if we come back into this slide, now we can do another calculation to figure out, okay, how much money do I need to be making in order to be able to save that $1,800 every single month? So what we will do is very simple. We'll do an easy calculation where we multiply $50,000, we'll do equal to $50,000 plus, in parentheses, 12 times the $1,800 that we figured out. It was like 1802. We'll just do 1802 right here. And that will give us the amount of money we need pre-tax in order to figure that number out. So we need to be making about $71,624. My bad, that's not pre-tax. That's just the amount of money I need post-tax in order to be saving towards retirement. So I need about $70,000. Now, if we need about $70,000, we have to figure out how much do I need to do with tax included. So I pulled up the income bracket tables for taxes. So if we scroll down here, for 2022 taxes for single or married couples, if you're single, your taxes are basically like, if we're looking at $70,000, we can assume about 24%, right? So now in order to figure out your pre-tax money that you need to be making, what you would do is you would do a calculation of the amount that you need to, you're saving and spending divided by 1 minus 0.24 in this situation. And that will give you about $94,000 is what you need to be making in order to be able to spend $50,000 a year and then save the remaining amount that you would be saving, the $1,800 that you need to be saving in order to invest. And so now that you know this, it's very easy for us to now realize, okay, I know when enough is enough. And if you're making more money on top of that, you're like, yo, I'm still good. And if you want to retire faster, you know you can retire faster by saving a little bit more money. And even if you want to retire with more money, you can save a little bit more. But the point is, this gives you a good guide of where to start from. This is why I love that. I love the quote from Charlie Munger, who says, I want to know where I'm going to die so I don't go there. If you reverse that quote, it's basically saying, I want to know the things that I need to do in order to get to the destination that I need to get to. In the book, The 7 Skills of Highly Successful People or Highly Effective People, one of the skills it talks about is skill number 2, which is beginning with the end in mind. If we start with the thought process of where I need to go in order to get to my destination, or rather knowing what your destination is that you're shooting for, you're more likely to hit that destination. So start just with you sitting down and thinking about, what is it that I want to accomplish? And then start from there and then work backwards. This is a very easy example. You can do the same thing with your career. If there's somewhere you want to be, figure out what is it that I want to be. For example, if you want to be a lawyer, figure out what is the steps that I need to do in order to get to that position. Look at people's lives that have the positions of where you want to get to, and then look at what is the routes that they took. Work backwards from there for you to see, okay, this may be the route that I can take. That's one thing you can do with your career. In relationships, it's the exact same thing. Figure out what successful relationships look like, and then start talking with them and say, what is it that they do, or paying attention to what it is that they do on a regular basis in order to foster a healthy relationship. These are the ways that we become successful in every area of our lives. It's not by us putting our head down and only trying to figure out things that are right in front of us. It's by us forecasting, actually looking at other people and saying, were they able to accomplish A, B, and C? And then working backwards and saying, okay, they did X, they did Y, they did all of these things to get to A. And then we can work backwards from there. But anyway, that's all I got for y'all. I hope y'all learned one, maybe 2 things out of this entire thing. And if you did, hit that like button. But I'm gonna catch y'all up on the next one. Remember, generosity is always greater than greed. God bless each and every single one of y'all, and I'm out. Peace. Whoosh.